We just wanted to do a quick video. There's been a lot of talk on podcasts, on the internet, so on and so forth about, you know, privateer semis being empty. And I just wanted to show you guys everything we have and how we prepare for things that are going to happen, and you know, how to be prepared to race Supercross for sure. Hey guys, just wanted to show you guys, you know, the whole truck. We're going to start in the front. This is the lounge. It's kind of area where the riders can just take their time, you know, to themselves, review footage that was recorded from practices, so on and so forth, look at lap times, all that stuff. We've got a TV in here, radio, microwave, coffee machine, refrigerator, you know, everything that we need, you know, for household items to get these guys through their day. You know, like I said, this is kind of a peaceful place for them. We try to keep everybody out of the semi as much as we can, which is tough sometimes, but as respectful to the riders, they need their time. They need time to review all that stuff and you know, regenerate the batteries and so on and so forth for the next practice, or whether it's getting ready for the race, so on and so forth. They just need their own time and to get away from everything, and this is where they do that. You know, it's heated, cooled, all that sort of stuff, make it comfortable for them. Yeah, and we'll move through the truck. I'll show you guys everything. Just wanted to start in the front. That's where this is and what happens up here. So a lot of things that people don't see and don't know is all our crew is avid Mountain Dew drinkers. So we keep a fresh stock of Mountain Dew in here. You know, spare case in the closet, and you know. So starting here, we put most of the stuff down here. A lot of engine stuff up here, from gaskets. I put all my gaskets up here, seals up here. There's a lot of engine bearings here, miscellaneous stuff for engines here, from seals, O-rings, water pump impellers, all internal engine stuff's here. Some of the crankshaft stuff, cylinder head stuff goes in bigger drawers down there. We'll get to that. There's some engine parts down here. I tend to work on engines up here, so there's a solvent tank here. I work on that stuff here. We've got a flat plate in the back that I use for surfacing cylinder heads and cylinders. A lot of the engine parts sit in here. Wasner pistons. Some of my engine tools sit here. Valve springs here. Valve shim kit here. There's a lot of brake parts up in here also. All the internal brake stuff goes here, from master cylinder rebuild kits, caliper rebuild kits, all the seals for that. Extra front brake hangers sit here. There's some master cylinders in here. There's a lot of parts in there. Some spare gaskets here. Air filters are all down here. I store a couple extra throttle bodies in the back of this drawer. All DT1 air filters. They build us a Supercross specific air filter. It's really, really good. Sometimes if it's really dusty, we'll use an MX filter. Mud conditions, we have a triple layer filter for them also, which is really, really, really good. Graphics are also up in this area. All the graphics that would be the same on all the bikes would be in these drawers. Shrouds, fork guards, fenders, all that stuff's the same per rider. Fenders, front fender, swing arm decals, all that sort of stuff. That's all up here. Also, there's some numbers and stuff in these other drawers. Carson Brown stuff's here. Also, Rambler stuff's up here. Doesn't let me open it, the two are open. But Rambler stuff here. There's a couple of Costello stuff in here also. Pit boards are also kept right here. Every rider has one. we actually keep 2 per rider. Sometimes stuff gets crazy, they get scratched up, or somebody loses their mind and breaks one. So that stuff happens. We also keep all the ODI handlebars up here, and we try to keep them ready to go with map switch and grip ready to go. This can go right on the bike. So most of our guys are running on the McGrath Bend podium bar, so that's kind of easy. It keeps it all together. So moving down, I'll turn this way. All our rider lockers and mechanic lockers are here. We all keep a whole bunch of stuff in our lockers. I'll show you mine, just kind of random, but I've got my mud shoes in here. I keep my my fanny pack in here, some spare gloves, a couple power tools, a box of dry erase pens, some small stuff, engine stuff also because I do the engines. And then on this side, there's a lot of bike parts in here, from levers to you know, spare batteries here, you know, some chains and sprockets here, fly sprockets, lots of chains, tons of extra sprocket bolts, so on and so forth. There's more shift levers, some stuff like that, throttle housings, spare foot pegs, hole shot devices, you know, that sort of stuff lives in this drawer. There's a bunch of electrical items here, bunch of fuel pumps, every electrical part on the bike, from relays to condensers, ignition coils, map switches. There's 4 wire harnesses right here. Data loggers live in here also. A couple spare ECUs. The clutch drawer, probably the most important drawer we have in here. Recluse handles all our clutch needs. So there's clutch packs in here soaked, ready to go. Some spare inner hubs, pressure plates, clutch covers, sort of stuff like that. Moving down, this is just kind of a spare nuts and bolts. Linkage bolts go in here. A couple of radiator hoses, a Y-piece, sort of some stuff like that. Also, like, we have a wheel drawer, wheel bearings. There's some linkage parts in here, some spare axle bolts, axles, stuff like that. This cable drawer is kind of a mess, but there's full clutch systems in here that are completely ready to go. Bled up, clutch line, master cylinder, slave cylinder, everything's there. If there's an emergency, you can swap the whole clutch system and it's ready to go. So in an emergency, that's a very important drawer. Some oil filters in here, stuff like that. Moving up top, we keep a spare fuel tank in here, complete spare fuel tank ready to go. Pump in it, everything ready. There's some spare skid plates in here. This is our radiator cabinet. There's lots of spare radiators in here. You never know what you might need. There's some factory radiators in here and spare OEM ones, some with fans ready to go. We run big factory radiators with the fan, so having those ready to go in case of a crash is really, really good. Also down here we have a drawer with, I keep a couple spare cylinder heads. They're literally ready to go. There's some crankshafts in here, 3 crankshafts, a couple spare headers, exhaust plugs, some stuff, miscellaneous drawer, but crankshafts ready to go. Also moving down in the overhead cabinets, we've got this cabinet that we keep all our mechanics wear gloves in, some rubber gloves for doing air filters, bar pads, lots of ODI grips, miscellaneous ODI accessories, from the grip donuts to the grip covers, so on and so forth. So also down here we keep all our liquid moly engine oil stuff up here. There's some engine ice in here, chain lube, race brake fluid, some visor cleaner. This is our engine oil. We pump it out of this big, you know, 5-gallon container. And then down here we keep all our race fuel sits in here. We've got spare engines in here. These are race engines ready to go. So this one's never been ran. It's brand new. This one I just rebuilt yesterday. We've also got another engine here ready to go. Fuel cabinet. We pump it out of the 14-gallon drums, the ETS drums, into a gas can to make it easier to put into the bike. But all that stuff lives under here. So moving back from the door, on the opposite side of where the engines and the fuel sits, all the rider lockers are here. Rambler Alves's lockers here. I'll open it up so you guys can kind of look at what that looks like. Rambler's a bit OCD, but he keeps his stuff clean. Helmets up here, some spare helmets down here, boots, gear ready to go, his wrist braces, goggles, all that stuff set up ready to go. His polar watch is there, knee braces at the bottom. His locker's very clean. These guys do a really good job about that. They're as professional as we are, so that's really, really good. Moving towards the back, there's spare suspension here. Every rider's got at least one set of spare suspension. So there's shocks in these boxes ready to go, spare forks ready to go, with their settings already in them. There's a couple of spare seats to the left. Guts takes care of all our seats needs. So there's complete seats for every rider ready to go. Some foam, another spare fuel tank if needed. Moving on behind that is just a bunch of tables and stuff for hospitality. The spare stands sit up here. Behind us is where all our spare plastics and stuff sit. These cabinets are full of spare plastics. Some of them already stickered, ready to go. Some of them are just replacement plastic for, let's say, the next round. Every round, the bike gets all new plastics and graphics, so that's really good. Our team personnel headsets sit here. And then this back section. So back here we keep all the crew personnel has headsets. Of course, mechanics have headsets. And then we have at least 2 guys in the stands at all times, usually in different sections of the track, to be able to relay to the mechanic maybe what he's seeing or something he saw that maybe the mechanic can't see from the mechanics area. Under that, in these cabinets are where all the plastics go, all from a Cherubies. Every bike gets plastics and graphics every single weekend, so they look really, really prime, keep everything looking good, sponsors happy, so on and so forth. We also keep some additional plastics in here that are already stickered up, ready to go. In the case of a crash or something where you need a piece of plastic right away, we've got those ready to go. So back here in the back section is where Tanner works. He does all the suspension in-house at JMC. Any setting changes that need to be done, get done in here. He's got a sync set up, vise obviously, and all his shims are in here. He's got multiple shim containers. All the spring stuff sits up here, fork springs, shock springs, plenty of oil, some oil absorbent pads. Down underneath, he also keeps all the wear parts, seals, bushings, all that sort of stuff. Never know what could happen at a race. Also back here happens to be my toolbox. I was doing some stuff back here, so my toolbox was back here. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the run through of the truck. We keep a lot of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can happen with racing, as you guys know, from damaged parts, from crashes, to just, you know, everyday stuff that happens, you know. So we try to be prepared for that. You know, our job is to be prepared for what could happen, not what's going to happen, but what could happen. So, you know, we keep a lot of stuff that might be unnecessary, but, you know, in this game, it's being prepared. So that's our job.